It's 5 o'clock. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. First item on the agenda is consider levying a tax for the 2019 tax year. Ms. Muncy.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. This agenda item is to levy the tax for the 2018-19 fiscal year. And we are adopting a tax rate of 47.6601 cents per $100. We've had our 2 public hearings regarding this, so now it's time to actually pass the ordinance that sets the rate. Property tax code requires us to show in our ordinance the change from our adoptive rate to the effective tax rate. Okay, so all along we've been talking about that the rate that we're proposing to adopt is less than the rollback rate. It is less than last year's rate, but it is higher than the effective rate. Okay, so when we adopt this ordinance, we're actually adopting what we call an increase to the effective rate. Okay, does that make sense? So we take what our proposed rate is at the 47.6601, and we subtract the effective rate, which is 45.0791, and we take that difference, divide it by the effective rate, and that gives you your percent increase. If you look at our our proposed rate to last year's rate, we actually are doing a decrease. Remember, we had 49 cents last year, so 47 cents this year. So we actually have an overall decrease in our rate. So don't need to explain that anymore, because the way we have to adopt the ordinance shows that increase over the effective rate.
And both of those rates are below the rollback rate, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
And the reason those rates are higher is because of all the influx of businesses that we
That's
have,
part,
right?
yes, that's part of it, yes. Okay. So, are there any other questions?
Any other questions?
Tonight will be the first reading and vote, and tomorrow night will be the second and final.
Okay. I move that the property tax rate be increased by the adoption of a tax rate of 47.6601 cents per $100 valuation, which is effectively a 5.725% increase in the tax rate.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Item 2, consider approval of the budget of the Odessa Development Corporation. Ms. Muncy.
Yes, Council, this is the approval of the 1819 fiscal year budget for the Odessa Development Corp. I would like to apologize for Betsy not being here. She is in Virginia at the memorial services for Buzz's brother, Sam, who passed away last week. We have gone over this in our Finance Committee meeting. It's a total adopted budget of $46.8 million. And of course, you'll recall that we always propose the maximum amount in our business incentives. So if anything comes about during the year that the board wants to do, that money's available. And I will answer any questions. I mean, we went over it pretty thoroughly in the Finance Committee meeting, but if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer those.
Okay. Any questions?
Yeah, I brought up one fact that we have always in the past, the raises that Renee gives people is supposed to be the very same that we give our employees, which is a 3%. And hers was from 3 to 5%. I assume that will be corrected. How do we make sure that that is done? Should that be part of our motion?
It can be if that's the choice of the council.
We really need
the
to
board.
do that.
Yeah, the ODC board did not make any qualification to their approval of the budget.
I doubt if they're even aware that that's always been what we do.
Well, I think they are aware. I think they look at the whole personnel kind of budget versus like looking at what benefits are available at both places too. So, you know.
I'd just sooner leave it like it is.
Well, our morale is really, really low because our employees are only getting a 3%. And I know we keep saying, oh yeah, but we're going to do a salary study. Well, I've been involved in 3 salary studies, and that doesn't mean everybody's going to get a raise. That means a handful of people will. In fact, it could very well go the other way because in the past we've had a lot of excess money, and so we've given big raises. And when you do a salary study, they are comparing you with other people. So just because we're doing a salary study doesn't mean our employees are going to get more money.
Well, and that's true. That's not necessarily a consideration. I know that the last time the city did the salary study, we did bump certain people up, but everybody got an additional 2% across the board too. So effectively that fiscal year, we got a 5% raise. So, but that doesn't happen all the time. That
No.
just was last time we did it.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Well, I move that we adopt this budget with the understanding that all employees will only get a 3% raise to match what the city has.
Okay, do we have a second? Do we have a second? Okay, we do not have a second, so I will entertain a motion.
I move that we adopt the budget as it is presented and approved by ODC.
Okay. do we have a
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
I oppose.
Okay, the vote is 2-1, and it passes. That is the end of the agenda, so we are adjourned.